And welcome back to the end. We're here, folks. In kind of chunk because I did want to finally wrap this up, but because I feel we've reached the conclusion of the story, we are on the final chapter of the What If My Pokemon, my or my the My Pokemon My Hero Academia crossover What If series. It's been a long time, gone 39 freaking episodes. I'm trying to think how many episodes per month was I getting done. I think I was getting done about 5 per month because every Saturday is when this one came out, plus the extra one I would get out during the week of Who Would Win or week of What If. So that translates out to 5. So if we look at this now, I've gotten down about 1, 2, 3, I think 4 this month alone. They scaled the 39 back. That means it took me 7 months to get this all done. Oh man. Uh, but we're here, and yeah, let's just dive in. So we left off with Midoriya winning the Pokemon League, finally beating his rival Bakugo for good, proving that he was better. Although Bakugo will never say that. He's like, no, you're my rival. I'll beat you next time. Smell you later, dweeb. Yeah, so it's more that they'll be rivals till their dying days. But more importantly, Midori is the winner, so he probably gets he gets a trophy. Obviously, there's probably some sort of award or prize or whatever, be it some money or rare candies, evolutionary stuff, something along those lines. But most importantly, he has now been given the honor of, excuse the burp, I just had dirt. My reflex is acting up just a little bit, so I might burp once or a few times in this video, kind of like I always do. And get back on track here. And he gets the challenge now, both the Elite Four, and should he manage to beat the Elite Four, he will get the honor of taking on the champion himself, All Might. So we cut now to him waiting to take on All Might. Why are we now just skipping through everyone else? Well, because if I were to do every single battle leading up to All Might, it would just get repetitive, because we know Midoriya is going to win those fights. However, in all fairness, I should at least give highlights of what went on in those fights to kind of illustrate what happened and how he won. So the first member of the Elite Four is 13. 13 would be the Psychic type user of the group. I chose Psychic type for 13 because with 13's ability Black Hole, I knew I had to either make a Ghost or Psychic, and I wanted to try not to repeat any of the gym leaders I had already done. Usually when you go through gym challenges, the Elite Four is not repeated. The types the Elite Four is not repeated through the gyms that have been used. Types that were used in gyms are not repeated in the Elite Four, was what I was trying to say. I think that holds true. I'm not going to go through everyone off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure that holds true for a while. Fire. I'm just quickly going through them in my head. Firebug. No. Elite Four, Psychic. Yeah, none of them. Gen 6, maybe? Nope. Not Gen 6 either. Gen 7's Elite Four. There was no Pokemon League, though, so that really doesn't count. There was no Pokemon gyms. And there was no Elite Four within Galar region. So, yeah, that's generally what holds true. Because Ectoplasm had Ghost types for his battle, so obviously I didn't go that route. But, really, Midoriya, actually, for the first gym leader, Midoriya really doesn't have that much trouble with 13, thanks to having Pokemon like Umbreon, who has a pure immunity to Psychic type attacks. And Volcarona, who is his strongest Pokemon and a bug type, which means he's already got the type advantage on there. Other Pokemon like this Metagross would definitely have a resistance thanks to its Psychic type. But ultimately, Midoriya would get through that without too much difficulty. Next up would be Gang Orca, the water type user. He would be using, Wailmer or something, or Wailord in this case. We don't have too many whale Pokemon, actually. We only got the one. I would imagine, an Orca Pokemon could be really cool. Check out, is it Hoops and Hip Hop or Lock and Stock? Oh, God, I can't remember. The one that did Pokemon Cardinal series. He made an Orca submarine Pokemon that was pretty cool. But to the point is that Midoriya struggles probably a bit more against Orca because he doesn't have as many Pokemon with type advantages or resistance to water type Pokemon. However, Zeraora would definitely be a big aid in this fight. Metagross still doesn't have any weaknesses, so Metagross being a pseudo-legendary is certainly going to be a boon to that fight. Umbreon's still good. Braviary, he still wins that fight without too much difficulty. Getting to Hawks, oh god, Hawks actually gets completely swept by Midoriya. Yeah, him on top is going to be weak to his flying types. Sure, Zeraora's got the advantage. Metagross kills most of his flying types without too much difficulty. Volcarona's fire type gives him way more advantage over the flying type. Umbreon is still good in the fight, and Braviary can fight toe to toe. The one that he actually has legitimate trouble with is Endeavor, and Endeavor is also probably very interested in Midoriya because of the changing nature of his son and the knowledge he has that Midoriya, had some sort of interaction with his son, particularly the fact that he beat his son in that tournament and he's been different ever since. So it's very much ideology versus, newfound ideologies clashing pretty much. And Midoriya here, unlike in the previous ones where he really didn't have much trouble fighting any of the Elite Four, Endeavor would give him a pretty strong run for his money given his current team because Metagross is no good in this fight. He would, in fact, Midoriya probably would either open with Metagross or save Metagross for second because he knows Metagross isn't going to be able to fare very well. So he's got to get the hits in with Metagross while he can. Larvesta pretty much goes neutral. Not true neutral. Larvesta is actually in a little bit of a prop bind there because of its bug type. But overall, it's still generally neutral. Then you have Braviary, who it does not fare well against them. Hitmontop does not fare well. Actually, Hitmontop is pretty much neutral, as is Zeraora. And then Umbreon. Those are actually his three biggest hopes for winning the fight. Through, a little plus ultra and ultimately having Endeavor realize, what are you talking about? It's like, you be a damn father! And then beats him, and, Endeavor's like, I'll never be able to beat him, ever! Never being All Might. And so, then there's a lull before fighting the champion. Everyone's gathered, everyone's in their seats, Asui, Shinso, Shoto, Bakugo, everyone's there. They're waiting, and then you get President Mike. All right, kiddies, this is the moment you've waited for. We've all waited for. Finally, after all this time, a champion, a worthy warrior, take on the champion All Might. So let's bring out the champion, the winner of this year's Pokemon League, and the challenger for the title of champion of the Hero region, Izuku Midoriya. And say, yeah, and here he is, folks, the one. The only All Might! And All Might comes out, and he's not doing the pose or anything, but he's got that look of determination on his face, and it's like, and he's ready to go, and he still gives the crowd going, yeah, it's me, it's All Might. It's like, yeah, pieces out. It's like, or he still gets his his pose. I just give you All Might music playing. It's like, you know the rules, folks. All your Pokemon are allowed. You cannot use items. And then the winner will be the new or current reigning. The winner will either be the new or the reigning champion. So when you're ready, all right. Are you ready? Izuku, this is what you've been working for. Show me how strong. Show me how you've. Show me how you progress. I'm interested to see how far you've come. And he's like, thank you. I'll do this. Go! And then they both send out their Pokemon, and immediately it's Braviary versus Braviary, and they both kind of laugh a little bit. It's like, so you, I see, that's the way it's going to be. That's right, All Might. And then go. It's an aerial battle, and they're just duking it out. All Might comes. They both ultimately come in with their final attack. Midoriya using superpower, whereas All Might's using Brave Bird. They clash, and unfortunately, Midoriya's Braviary is the first to go down. That's when Midoriya sends out Metagross. I see it's Metagross with Zeraora because he knows he's got to get tight advantage on the Braviary real quick. He also knows there's Metagross, despite Zeraora's stats at the moment, he's had it longer. It's just more trained. It's a pseudo legendary and a mythical. Actually, let me look up a Metagross versus Zeraora stats real quick because most mythicals, mind you, stat range are within the legendary parameters to some degree. But they aren't legendary. Like full legendary stats are like 680 or beyond. That's what a full legendary Pokemon stats usually are. Mythical Pokemon stats are around the 600 range. They're around the pseudo legendary range. So like in Metagross, for instance, am I looking at? Oh, I'm looking at Mega Metagross. I'm like, whoa. Mega Metagross is a pseudo legendary. Its base stat total is 600. Whereas Zeraora's stat range is where. Hold on, let me just get Zeraora find that real quick. Okay, Lola region Zeraora. Zeraora, by the way, is probably one of my preferred mythical Pokemon. It's just a cooler. It looks like a Pokemon that fights. It looks like a fighter. I do like the Pokemon in terms of its design. Let's see here. It also actually has a base stat. Metagross though has the advantage in things like attack and actual defense though, where speed and special attack and attack are where Zeraora comes in. So Midoriya considers his two options, and I think he goes with Zeraora, coming in quickly with Plasma Fist and basically taking down Braviary without too much difficulty, because Braviary at that point was basically done. Like Braviary was not getting back up after that. Like Midoriya's Braviary lost, but that doesn't mean that doesn't mean All Might's Braviary was all that better in terms of actual combat. Or it just meant that it edged out. And I just want to be sure I have attacks ready for it. You'd feel like it feels like this would be a Pokemon that could learn extreme speed, but nope. Wild Charge though can learn, and that'll probably be in there. But yeah, more importantly than anything, it gets hit with the Zeraora's signature move, Plasma Fist. So All Might smiles and chooses his next Pokemon, sends out Lucario with the Steel type being resistant to electricity. So now Midoriya's got a bit. Got to choose his punch more carefully. Lucario using Bone Meringue, or actually, is it Bone Meringue or Bone Rush? I think it's Bone. And I'm gonna have to look that one up too, aren't I? Actually, which one? No, I don't. Sorry, I realized I did have All Might's techniques up over here. So yeah, sorry. Lucario comes in with Meteor Mash. To basically, smash. And then, Plasma Fist clash. Meteor Mash being the stronger and having an advantage does press the advantage towards Lucario. Midoriya, though, does think quickly and uses Volt Switch real quick. And then out comes Metagross. Because, it just switches out through the party. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the user rushes back to switch places with the party Pokemon waiting. So yeah, Midoriya could have set it up because he knows he's going to need some of his big hitters early, but his biggest hitter, Volcarona, last. So Metagross comes out and then immediately hits with Psychic and then just starts to overwhelm Lucario. However, Lucario's not going down without a fight as he's getting hit. He is using Swords Dance to increase his power, and just as he's about to get hit with one more Psychic, Lucario comes in with close combat and starts wailing on Metagross, who is somewhat resistant thanks to its Psychic type, but Steel is still weak to fighting. So Metagross starts getting pummeled, but ultimately does knock out Lucario. I'll commend you, Midoriya. I'll commend you, Midoriya. That's quite the impressive strategy you have there. Now let's see if you can go any further. Then he sends out Chestnut. And it's like, Midoriya's like, why would he send out Chestnut? It's only fighting. Metagross is going to be able to press the edge even further. And initially, he does, because he's using Psychic again. However, Chestnut comes in with Hammer Arm, and just boom, smacks down. And even though he takes damage, Chestnut is actually stronger than Lucario in terms of the leveling I did here for All Might, and it just boom, and Metagross gets knocked out, which does surprise Midoriya. He's like, oh, he knocked out Metagross. Oh, that's not good. So now he's got to weigh his options. Type-wise, he knows Volcarona is going to have the edge here, but he can't risk sending out Volcarona yet. He also knows that unless he gave Silvally the Water Disc, Silvally's not going to be a Water type, so Volcarona shouldn't have that much of a problem against Silvally, hopefully. But it's like now he's weighing his options. You got to weigh his options because he's still got Zeraora, he's got Hitmontop, he's got Umbreon, and he's got Volcarona. That's all he gets. So after weighing his options, he comes in and uses Hitmontop, who still knows Fake Out, so it does Fake Out and just poop, and Chestnut just Chestnut, and then all of a sudden Hitmontop comes in with Triple Kick, landing a couple, or actually landing all three of them. Chestnut is starting to huff him up because he did take a lot of damage from the Psychic. Like, that Psychic did not tickle, and it left him in a bad state. Like, Hitmontop is in a very good position to win. Hitmontop, use Brick Break! Comes in, Spiky Shield! All of a sudden, Spiky Shield comes out, stops the Brick Break, and then Hitmontop gets hit. And then suddenly, Midoriya hears Seed Bomb! Hitmontop is suddenly getting bombarded with bombs. And, there's not much it can do. And it unfortunately also gets knocked out. Now Midoriya's not looking good. Sends out Zeraora again, who comes in this time with Wild Charge. It does inflict a little bit of damage, but it does get the job done and knock out Chestnut. So now they're back to three Pokemon, each back to three Pokemon. He sends out Machamp, and these two go head to head. Machamp using Dynamic Punch, Dual Chop, basically using his punching technique. And because Machamp is forearmed, because this is the anime mixed with the game and all that stuff, he's actually dual wields two different punches. And one, like, Ice Punch connects with Zeraora, as the Zeraora's Plasma Fist is blocked by Thunder Punch. Zeraora, though, is not giving up and does land Plasma Fist on Machamp, as they're both just railing into each other. Just chip, Zora, order. Get your obligatory JoJo reference out of there. Ultimately, it is Zeraora who's about to fall until he brings out, his last ditch effort as he suddenly starts wailing on Machamp, who can't keep up. It's like, what is this? And all of a sudden his Pokédex rings. Close combat. Close combat. One of the pinnacle fighting type moves. The user gets within the opponent's guard, going all out on the opponent. However, it does decrease special defense and physical defense. It's like, all right, you learned close combat, and it does manage to knock Machamp out. Unfortunately, Dragonite, go! And Dragonite comes out, use Hurricane, and just boom, blast him back. Just, So it's all right, man. Now Midoriya's in serious trouble because he, as we mentioned in the last video, his team is not well designed to handle dragon types. None of his Pokemon know ice type attacks. None of them know fairy type attacks, except for Umbreon, but that's Moonlight. That's the only thing it knows is a fairy type move. And again, Midoriya's weighing his options. He knows Volcarona has got to be saved for last, so Umbreon comes out and they start their match. Umbreon tries Dark Pulse, but a Dragonite just uses Dragon Rush, rushes right through it. Still takes some damage, but uses Dragon Rush. Nearly hits Umbreon, but Umbreon's able to get away. It does manage to hit a Shadow Ball on Dragonite, but Dragonite uses Dragon Dance and then comes out and Fire Punch. They both clash. Just boom! It just wails on Umbreon, who luckily has high defense stats, but a couple of these and that defense isn't going to be jack. Uses Hurricane again. Umbreon is now in serious trouble, all of a sudden, but uses a flash of its eyes to use Confuse Ray. Dragonite gets hit by it, uses Moonlight to recover. Dragonite does hurt itself. Um, Umbreon uses Dark Pulse again to hit Dragonite. Dragonite, unfortunately, though, does manage to bring out another Hurricane and then just boom and knock out Umbreon. And now Midoriya's like, this is it, and this is it, buddy. This is since the day we met. This is what we've been aiming for. It's you and me to the and Volcarona, call Volcarona. And all right, the match is ready. Volcarona, this is it. Since the day we met, this is what we've been aiming for. And no matter what, win or lose, we are going the distance, buddy. It's you and me. And Volcarona's just like, and just shows off its flames in a brilliant display, and everyone's even like, ooh, wow. And they get ready to clash, and Volcarona sorry, I gotta get my All Might page back up. And so where was I? Oh yeah, Volcarona, go Bug Buzz, and then it just hits Dragonite head on, who has taken a bit of damage and did a damage to itself. So surprisingly, it does manage to knock out Dragonite. So now, but all the while, All Might is still smiling. A, he's proud of how far Midoriya has come. But B, and probably more importantly, he's very much aware. It's like, oh yeah, you're not going to be beating me, Midoriya. I'm sorry, Midoriya. But if you want to beat me, you'll have to get getting through him. And he basically sends out a Silvally. Now, Silvally's type, surprisingly, is like you can see the colors. Like, wait, it's not water, but it's not dragon. What'd you do? Oh, you're wondering about Silvally's typing. Of course. As all the discs are necessary to give, as I have access to all the necessary discs to give him typing. I knew your Volcarona would be my toughest competitor, so I decided to go with Rock. And yeah, when you really stop and think, a Volcarona is, it's a great Pokemon, absolutely. I actually really have always liked Volcarona, certainly. But unfortunately, when it comes to type disadvantage, Rock is the one that has a ×4 weakness to. Everything else is actually pretty even or neutral. It's got a ×2 weakness to water, but that's just because of the fire. It's got a ×2 weakness to fighting, but that's just because of the bug. Other than that, though, it's got half weaknesses to a lot of stuff, a quarter weakness to grass, and just it goes neutral with everything else. So, yeah, and Midoriya's actually kind of just, he did his homework. Shit. So they now because all of Volcarona's attacks are fire, bug, or wind. And Midoriya realizes, like, son of a bitch. So they clash, and he uses the elemental attack, the beam attack, and it hits Volcarona. Volcarona doesn't give up. He's using Fire Blast at this point. It does hit, it does hurt. It even gives him a burn, which All Might is like, oh, damn it. It strikes back with Hurricane, but Silvally's barely moving. Silvally comes in, uses multi-attack's name, uses Iron Head, just smacking right into him. But Fire type does help to keep that at bay. Uses Fire Fang, though, grabs onto it, and even though it's fire type, it's also bug, so that does do damage. Volcarona, though, is able to counter with Bug Buzz, landing another hit. Both are starting to really feel the impact of the damage. And both are now squaring up. They both are now realizing this is it. This is the last attack. Everything you've got, Volcarona. This is it. One final attack, and then the flames are just bursting. They're like, "Let's show me, Midoriya. Are you ready? Go multi-attack, full power. Go fire blast." And then they just clash and just boom. And then we cut to the aftermath. No, it's not the end. We're cut to beyond the end of the battle. We cut to the aftermath. Like we don't learn just that moment who won the battle. We learn in the aftermath. And it's them, and we see Midoriya looking over the stadium. And we see, All Might sitting All Might standing next to him. It's like, it was a fantastic battle, Midoriya. It's like, it really was, wasn't it? And I was like, it's always been my dream to battle alongside you or battle with you. And I got to live that finally. It's like, oh, well, we'll do it again someday. After all, it'd be poor as a champion to not allow you a rematch. It's like, yeah, was like, yeah, I'll be honest, I didn't know if I was going to beat you this time around. It's been a long time since I've lost the match in Midoriya, but you have the makings to become a true champion. Midoriya did not become new Pokemon champion. You think it's because it's Midoriya's story, and it's because it's just, My Hero Academia. You're like, oh, of course he's going to be All Might. No, I don't think Midoriya was ready. Just like I don't think he's ready to surpass All Might yet anyway. Hell, all of his limbs are currently smashed and he's in a coma. Spoilers for the newest chapter. So yeah, no, I felt it's actually better to leave Midoriya as the winner, or as the loser this time around. And he goes off and he sees his girlfriend and his friends. Like Baku's like, I can't believe you lost, Deku. You know what this means, though. You're gonna have to work even extra harder next time, because once the next league comes around, you better believe I won't lose like last time. Excuse me. And Midori just smiles like, bring it on, Bakugo. It's like, what are you challenging me? You're challenging me. It's like, come on, guys, we have to fight. It's like, after all, it is very uncouth of you, very uncouth for people to fight as Ida and Ochako and Omaya show up, and everyone's just kind of laughing, and All Might's just looking out, and it's like, they are the next generation. Maybe next time he really will win. I hope. I'm getting too old for this. And so the story of Izuku Midoriya continues on in whatever fashion we want it to continue on in. In terms of video series, it ends now. It's been a long ride on this one. Next time I do the thing about this is the fact that, unlike with any other crossover I theoretically could do, the story of My Hero Academia isn't finished. This isn't like if I was asked to do a Pokemon Bleach crossover, Pokemon Dragon Ball crossover, Pokemon Naruto crossover. No, this was Pokemon My Hero, and the story's not done. So I had to go a different route, and because of that, I had to write it out every week. In hindsight, I should have condensed chapters, like 2 or 3 chapters into one chapter. Would have gotten done a lot sooner. But ultimately, I am still glad I did this. This was a lot of fun to do. I look forward to doing other crossovers in the future, but that probably won't be for a while. I think I'm going to stick to, general. I mean, in terms of melding the worlds, not if like a person got thrown into a world one. That one's fine. But anyway, that is the end. And it's been a great ride. Till then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Ideas for Woodwind, Star Wars, Super Magic, what if anything can do on the channel. I think I just said that, but I'm going to say it again. Put in the comments below, and I'll get to that at some point. Hit that bell if you want notifications. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you folks. Actually, a little while. I'm going to do a bit of a review for WandaVision. now I've finally caught up to all 3 episodes that got aired to the screeners. So, yeah, I'm going to talk about WandaVision a little later. So, thanks. Later.